The following moments may contain explicit language.
Roger, Charlie, we're ready to rock.
Welcome to the SNLF podcast episode 2, sponsored by Your Instant Replay. We've had fantastic response to the first 2 episodes we've done, the pilot and episode 1 as well. I've had nearly 200 downloads across the 2, which we're quite happy with and pleased, and hopefully we're going to get even more after we've had this one on as well. Joining me this evening is Mike McCaffrey. Unfortunately, Gareth can't make it tonight and Brian's still unavailable. Mike, how you doing?
Yeah, doing okay. Had a bit of a freak result last night, but had a great weekend in the Vars, so we could talk about that. Feeling good, feeling fresh, and a big 23s Cup game to come on Friday.
Very nice, very nice. As always, we're promising to try and get a special guest on every week. Last week we had Hastings United's Danny Bloor from the Isthmian Premier League. So this week we've decided to drop right down to the bottom level we cover, the Southern Combination League Division 1. And I'm delighted this evening we've got the league leader's manager. So welcome to Seaford Towns, Mr. Paul Wise. Paul, how are you?
Very good, thanks, mate. Very good.
Very good. Great to have you on. I know we ran the idea past you, I think it was early this year, about obviously putting together the website we were going to do for Sussex and everything. And of course, yourselves being at one of the lower levels of as well makes it even harder, doesn't it, to get the coverage these days?
Yeah, it really does. I think what you guys are doing, what Ryan does as well on his TikToks and Instagram is great. Like, from when I played, you might get 3 lines in the Sussex Express. But the coverage is getting better. I think a lot of the clubs are getting more savvy to social media and stuff like that as well. So, you know, our main income down the bottom is getting people on a Saturday afternoon to come to the grounds, and just you guys retweeting it then means someone else might see it, and it helps out. So it's really, really good stuff. Exactly.
I mean, that's the aim of what we're trying to do, is get more publicity for everybody across Sussex, right from the National League South all the way down to yourselves in the Southern Combination. Now, you've had a cracking start to the season, 8 wins from the first 10 league games. Is that miles in front of where you thought you would be this year?
I mean, we had, minus the playoff final, we had a great finish the season previous. The goal is to get out of this league, but that is probably another 12 teams in this league's goal as well. So I think the fixtures, we've had a lot of away games early, so it's been good. We've only played 2 league games at home, so to have that many wins, we're very happy. But I don't think the league table means a great deal, especially in this league, till the other side of Christmas. At the moment, we've just got to pick up as many points as we can and see where we are come January.
Absolutely. Well, Mike,
I'll tell you one thing though, Paul, what I've seen, I did catch one of your games early in the year. It was away to Worthing United. One thing I noticed about your team, defensively, you're pretty ruthless. You're literally hard to break down. You recycle the ball well, and it really shows, to be fair, in your goal difference. You're plus 22 goals after 10 games, sitting top of the league. You're there to be shot at. So after seeing you guys play, I thought, right, there's got to be other ways to try and break this team down, especially as I've links in the same league. But I mean, is that what you've based yourself on, defensively being strong? Because at the same time, you're still putting in 30 goals.
It's something we've worked hard on pre-season. Last season, we scored goals for fun. Tyler Capon got 41 goals last season. Cal Connor got 20. Josh Wright got 15. I think the 4 strikers we had got about 80 goals between them.
That's phenomenal.
We conceded quite a lot. So we were winning a lot of games 4-3 and conceding poor goals. So we've really worked on, without sounding arrogant, the firepower's there. And Tyler, we just re-signed Tyler from Bexhill this week. So that's a huge signing. We kind of rely on those guys and they're going to score the goals. So it was our job to make us better defensively. I think Wester, the goalkeeper, has already had more clean sheets in the league this season than last season. So it's been a real big improvement. Credit to the coaches at the club, and the players have sort of bought into it, and we are probably a little bit less attractive to watch, but it's all about results, isn't it? And if you don't concede, especially at this level, 9 times out of 10 you're going to win.
Did you do something different pre-season? Did you change the approach?
Not really. I mean, it was a real tough end of the season. We were 3-1 up against Wick in the playoff final at half time. Had a penalty to win it. And to be fair to the boys, you could go one of both ways, can't you? And I think the mental toughness and the resilience that's been shown is we're not going to let that slip again, you know. So we've got the core of the side is pretty much the same. Brought a few new ones in, but we just are focusing on being harder to break down.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that. You're saying you looked at the characters and everything like that. Did you look into their eyes in pre-season and think, are you up for this year? Are you up for getting over that defeat, picking themselves up? Do you have those kind of characters around your team?
Yeah, I really do. And we had our presentation a week after the playoff final. So it was such a short space of time and it was a bit risky. And I could see the togetherness in the group. Like, it affected everyone. You know, I think about it now. Like, it was a great occasion for the club. We had 1,000 people at the crowd, which is unbelievable. And to lose it like that, fair play to Wick. They won, so they deserved it. But I could see it already. You know, the main conversation was, right, we've got to go one better. We've got to do whatever it takes. Numbers for training have been really good. Pre-season, we trained twice a week. Every week we started early. So I think the boys are up for it.
Like I hear that. Good. Trev?
Yeah, I was going to mention about Tyler coming back. Talk to us about the social media video that the club put out yesterday to announce his re-signing.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It was just something that we wanted to make a big deal of it. You know, it's a big signing. Tyler was doing the business at Bexhill. We are kind of doing the business where we are, but I saw Bexhill have had a bit of a tough run, and I just sort of took a stab in the dark and put it in. And then once it was agreed, we sort of spoke to the committee, and it was like, look, we got to try and make something of this. So it was brilliant. It's almost so bad it was good, if that makes sense. And I think that's what made it so good. Over 20,000 views. So
that is the power of social media.
Exactly.
You know, the great stuff you're doing, your team behind the scenes at Seaford and that. And there's other teams as well. I know teams like Pagham and that, they're really embracing social media. They're really opening themselves up to a new audience. You know, maybe the casuals that don't there, maybe the players that don't know so much about it. And obviously what comes with that, which we all know, is potential new revenue streams as well to support the club. So, yeah, I think it's great what you guys are doing down there.
I mean, you've got all these ground hoppers now that it's basically free to, you know, you put a tweet out like that, you get 20,000 views. If you get another 15 ground hoppers to say, I'm going to go down the Crouch this weekend, £5 a pop, that's massive for the club. It really is. And it's free for us to do.
Exactly. And I'm all for it. And this is part of why we're doing this. You know, we're doing this to get those teams exposure, to build a bigger community, to be able to have people that can just go to their local grounds, have a chat, a bit of banter, and follow it. They don't always have to follow the Premier League, the league. You know, there's a thriving non-league community we have here. So, yeah, you know, and I think it will only grow and grow as the seasons go on.
Yeah, definitely.
I've seen quite a bit the last few weeks, Paul, about the perimeter barrier, I think, around the pitch with the council.
Yeah, so our pitch, we lease it from the council. We've got the barrier around, which is fine. We sort of enclosed the pitch temporarily.
Yeah.
Sort of just to stop the stray balls going, etc. And it got a little bit run down. So we're sort of looking into new ways of making the Crouch look as good as we can. I love the ground. It's a very, it's an old-fashioned county league ground, but it is council owned, so we're sort of limited to how far we can go with the ground. So we just try and make the best of what we can.
Okay. So if you do get promoted, how much work is there to do around to be able to get it to the next standard?
I'm not too sure. My main focus is on the pitch. We've got a fantastic committee at the club, and I know that if, and it is a massive if at the moment, we get promoted, they'll have everything in place. Out of that.
Excellent. So I'm going to add a little feature in that I thought of. Well, I say I thought of. It's been done by quite a few different people and stuff, but I thought I'd chuck it into our guests everyone we have every week. There's one thing in non-league football you could change, whether it be at your level, whether it be slightly higher, whether it be at the top. What would it be?
Tuesday night away games.
Don't. I have Friday nights for the developmental, so the worst.
Yeah, it's Oakwood, although that's one of a local game for us now. With all the East Sussex teams are either in the Prem or Div 2.
Yeah.
Oakwood on a Tuesday for us Seaford and Eastbourne boys. I do love the Tuesday night games, but it is, when you're up early for work, it is a bit of a chore, but it's all part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. It's to be honest, I love the Tuesday night games. The first games my dad ever took me to was a Tuesday night game. So nights under the lights are like absolutely fantastic. Doesn't quite have the same appeal at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon as it does at 7:45 on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I get that. It's just I can't sleep after a game. It's
Me neither.
I got home last night about 11:30, and we won the game convincingly. I'm even worse when we've lost the game, and you're just trying to you're thinking you're waiting for the VO to upload, which takes a lifetime. So you normally fall asleep about 2 o'clock, and then up at 6 for work. But to be honest, there ain't a great deal I would change. I love every part of it.
Wonderful. Well, I've got a couple of questions, if that's possible, from the tweets. There's one question that I always ask personally. Okay, and I'll start with that one first. Who are your 3 sporting icons? Any sport.
So Lennox Lewis is my first one.
Love that.
My dog's name Lennox. Massive boxing fan, and growing up, Lennox Lewis was the man.
My father actually went out to Memphis for the Tyson Lewis fight.
Okay.
Lewis did him in round 8. I can see that. The boxing behind your thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big choice, that one. I love that.
Yeah. Stuart Storer.
Okay.
Just because of that goal. I mean, you look where Brighton are now. Like without that, it wouldn't happen.
Hereford away. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Robbie Ryan, wasn't it? Was it Robbie Ryan? Yeah.
Something like that. They had to avoid the drop, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. And who else? I used to love Eric Cantona growing up. I just loved the way he handled himself on and off the pitch. He was just crazy, wasn't he?
And I've got quite a controversial question I've been sent as well. I thought I'd throw it in there. And don't feel you have to ask it. Okay. If you had to manage any other team in the county leagues, who would it be? And Paul, this was from the audience, so don't feel you have to ask it. Although it's better content if you do, obviously.
I mean, they got promoted last year, but Eastbourne Town, for me,
great choice.
Was always the biggest. I thought Class Eastbourne Town is the biggest county league club. I know they're not in the county league, but Eastbourne Town is. There's something about. There's a bit of history there. It's a proper ground. So it's a bit of a there because they're not quite in the county league, but.
No, you answered the question, which is utmost respect. So I appreciate that. And to anyone, the Seaford fans out there, please, that's our question. He was forced. And that's what I've got. Thanks a lot.
So Paul, having seen probably 10 out of your, I think 19 opponents so far this year, what are you expecting from the rest of the division in terms of like maybe challenging you? Obviously, Billingshurst and Forest Road are doing great stuff at the moment. Do you see someone emerging from maybe the middle of the table?
Do you know what? I think this is my sixth season. We've had a couple of COVID ones, but this is my sixth season. I found this league has always had a runaway team. They've had Roffey twice in the last 3 years, Littlehampton, Shoreham, teams like that. I don't think there's a team like that this season. I honestly think the league is just starting to form two leagues within itself. I think from probably infinity up,
Yeah.
I think anyone could. I really do. You know, this is the time of season now where a lot of clubs start getting players dropping down from step five because they haven't quite got the minutes that they were promised. So I think Forest, if you finish above Forest Row, I think you get promoted.
Well, Arundel played them last night. Forest Row played the ball around fantastically, took their chances, clinical, defensively very strong, quick down the wings, cycled it so well. They were very good. We played against Dorking as well away. They were very good. We obviously haven't played against your lot, which we've heard is also very good. But for me, that's the three teams I've seen there that I feel, I think it's spot on. You finish above those, you're there or thereabouts.
And I think Billingshurst, they're going to be in there. I mean, Frenchie's been around non-league football for a long time. The job he's doing there is fantastic. And I think a lot of teams will get caught out thinking Billingshurst are going to slip up soon, but I don't think they will. I think they'll be, they beat Napa in the Vars this week. That's a huge result.
Yeah, massive.
I think you can't write Billingshurst off. I reckon there's probably a group of 6 or 7 that could do it. So I think it'll get interesting.
I think you're right. I think you're certainly right.
Yeah, promised to be a very, very interesting race in that division. Paul, thank you very much for coming on this evening. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
You're welcome. And good luck for the rest of the season.
Nice one.
Yeah. And Paul, look forward to welcoming you down to Mill Road and looking forward to seeing you over at your gaff there. But wherever it is, I wish you the utmost best for the season. Thank you so much for coming on. Doing great stuff down there. Keep it going.
Nice one. Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
And just before you go, Paul, must remember, of course, you were the winners of our first Team of the Month award, which we have got.
Yes, they were.
We will get down to present it at some point, and obviously the winners of each monthly trophy get to keep it. There's a little emblems on it as well, and whatnot. So we will get down at some point.
Fantastic. Look forward to it, mate.
That's great to have Paul on it, Mike. He's a sound guy, really knows his stuff, and I was obviously there to watch their playoff final defeat last year, and I thought they actually had it in the bag, 3-1 up at half time, but they certainly look in good shape to go again this year, don't they?
Yeah, as I said, looking at that team, and I saw them first couple of games of the season, defensively ruthless. You've got to really break them down to look to take any points, I reckon. And Paul seems to have a great attitude up there. The key thing for me of what he said was he sort of looked into the players' eyes, didn't he? Pre-season, after having the rug taken out of you in the playoffs. You're on the verge of achieving something so massive, then to be took it away from you, and only a week later have the team's presentation. You're going to get long faces at those kind of gigs, and it seems like he's picked them up collectively. It seems like he's got a good committee behind him as well. He's got some good fan base and players that actually want to win and have a desire to go again. I mean, look, they're top. They're top of that league at the moment, and they're now the benchmark. Played 10, won 8, drew 1, lost 1. 30 goals against only 8. That's a 22 goal difference. That's nothing to be sneezed at this level. You don't find them at the bottom of cereal packets. Those kind of stats, So, hey, I wish him the best, as I said, until they come down to Mill Road or we go there. But, great guy. Looking forward to meeting him in person. And good luck to Seaford Town.
Absolutely. Right, let's crack on with the rest of Sussex then, and we'll start.
What have we got? What have we got out here?
We'll start in the National League South, where Eastbourne Borough picked up a 1-1 draw with Slough Town, both sides flying high at the top, and Worthing picked up a 1-1 draw at Weymouth. So we're going to have a little look at Eastbourne Borough this evening. Adam Murray said after the game on on Saturday that they should have come away with all 3 points against Slough, but they're sitting second in the table. There's only two sides around them unbeaten. You'd think he'd have been happy or relatively happy with a point.
Look, if he was offered that start, 18 points from the first 9 games, sitting second in the table, they're on a streak at the moment. They're scoring goals, they're bit defensively good. He's got to take that at the moment, hasn't he? He's got to take where he is. He'd be biting your hand off, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I had them up there. I can't remember if I had them in the top 7 or not, but I knew they'd be far more competitive this year, just literally because you had the whole summer for some good recruitment, and him himself, he took Fylde up from the National League North into the National League itself only about 18 months ago. So I always expected them to be up and around, and I think as we said last week as well, there's sides up there. Hemel, Eastbourne.
Yeah, they're flying.
Yeah, who were all in the bottom 6 or 7 last year for most of the season. So it's actually quite refreshing to see, a little bit of a change of the guard, as they might say. I think Luke Garrard at Borehamwood might have something to say about that in the next few weeks as well. After his homecoming and a 6-0 win over Welling United at the weekend.
Yeah. I'm looking at the stats. I love the stats. I like to see the trends. I'm looking at the top 4 teams: 4th Western Supermare, 3 Tunbridge Wells, 2nd Eastbourne Borough, and number 1 Hempstead Town. All of those teams in the last 5 games, any of them have lost. So they're putting streaks together early, which is good. It sets the benchmark. Then you've got big teams. You've got Torquay United just below them. Truro City, Slough Town. Don't write off my boys Worthing yet. Don't write them off. Long way to go yet.
Of course there is. I mean, they've still got another impressive Danny Cashman goal at the weekend as well. And
how good is he? How good is he?
He's to be honest, he's far too good for the level. I've already had a couple of people asking me, Danny Cashman, worth a punt. To be honest, at Barnet, no, because of what we've already got there in terms of number 10s.
Right.
I don't think it's going to do us any favours.
He can play that level.
I know he can. Yeah, well, quite comfortably. I think he can
Yeah.
play the football league. You don't take his height into account. He's got all the talent, which we absolutely know about. But I think if he has another good year at Worthing, then I think there's a good chance he's going to get looked at probably even in the January window. I think Worthing do well to keep hold of him. And Jack Spong's another one as well. Actually, talking to Pete Stone on Saturday when we were on the way to Aldershot, we were saying just that. There's a long way to go in the season. Worthing haven't played games yet as well, so they're going to have a spell at some point where they've got at least probably 3 home games in a row, maybe something like 5 out of 6 at home. So that'll be when it counts. And I think for the Maidstone game, which is a week on Saturday, I think it is the grand opening of their new North stand as well on the far side, which from what I've seen so far looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it? For that level, looks really good.
Sure does. Sure does.
So hopefully that'll be full, and they'll have a nice big crowd for what will be a big game against Maidstone as well. So on to the Isthmian League Premier Division, and results for our sides on Saturday. Bognor beat Cray Wanderers 3-1. Horsham lost 5-2 at Dulwich Hamlet. Lewis and Hastings shared a 1-1 draw, and Whitehawk beat Potters Bar 2-0, and Chichester City drew 1-1 at Wingate and Finchley. And last night, as we record on Wednesday, Lewis won 2-0 at Bowers and Pitsea. Mike, Lewis is still going. Absolute great times and unbeaten.
I tell you what, Lewis, they're still there. They're actually 6 points clear at the moment.
They have played a game extra, granted.
Yeah, of course. But do you know what the key stat I see is?
Go on.
They've let in 4 goals in 8 games. That is ruthless.
Absolutely massive, isn't it? Absolutely massive. I mean, I know Craig I know Craig Nelson from his time at Glebe last year, which is one of the clubs I'm involved in program writing. And two or three of the players he's actually bought from Glebe, so they've stepped up two levels. Yeah, they're five, aren't they? Yeah, so they've stepped up two levels along with him as well. He's got Toby Bull in goal, who was talked about Worthing last year as a potential replacement last season, but
Yep.
never realised and spent his time bouncing around Sussex a little bit. He's picked up a few clean sheets. I want to say it's about five. I'm sure I saw a tweet from him this morning, or over the weekend. So yeah, I mean,
I mean, at the same time, though, at the same time, they're not scoring as many as others in the league. I mean, if you look at Dover have scored nearly exactly twice as many as them.
but Dover did hit 8 in one game though.
They did, but over the season, they're all going to count.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let's also have a little shout out as well to our former guest, Danny, who we knew that had he was playing Lewis down there. 1-1.
1-1.
That's a good result.
Yeah.
You know, from him, and shout out Danny Gore there. So yeah, good luck to both of them. But yeah, Lewis, they're still there. They're still to be shot at. They're still going.
And when you think there's some really big clubs in that division, your Billericay's, your Dartfords, your Dovers, you mentioned your Dulwich Hamlets, even Hastings themselves, who get a couple of thousand through the gate as well.
Absolutely. But, as we said, long way to go. There'll be yo-yos. There'll be a string of results where teams from the bottom turn over the top. There'll be some stalemates. There's a lot of twists and turns yet. We're only just climbing on this roller coaster. Long way to go.
Certainly are, aren't they? So this weekend it's FA Cup action as well. So Worthing host Dartford. Hastings,
massive game.
That is huge. Hastings head to Cray Wanderers, who are currently bottom of Hastings division, and Margate, the Giant Killers of the last round, host Horsham. Whilst in the Premier Division, Bognor head to Billericay, Chichester host Folkestone Invicta, and there's no game for Whitehawk this weekend. Lewis head to Potters Bar on Sunday. So some big FA Cup games for our sides next weekend. Mike, how do you see those going?
Where are we starting? Where do you want to start?
Start with we've only got the three, haven't we, to have a look at? So start with the Worthing Dartford game.
Well, look, I'm biased. That's a 3-1 win for Worthing there. I know there's going to be a lot of fans there. I know it's ticketed out, and that I know they're starting to get a buzz around that club. In different results, okay, but this new stand's going to help. And that look, it's the magic of the cup. We're at home. Worthing will try them on. So it's up to the boys, but you never know what can happen. I'm going for a 3-1 win.
Yeah, I would go with a home win on that one. I must admit Dartford have started a lot better than I thought they would under Adi Pennant, but being at home, you would fancy Worthing. So yeah, I'm going with a home win as well. Right, Cray Wanderers against Danny Blaw's Hastings.
I'm sticking with Danny on this. He's just fresh off a good result over at the Dripping Pan there. So yeah, I'm going with a 1-0 away win.
Okay. Well,
I fancy that David to pop in another one as well. Pop in like he did.
I'm gonna break Sussex protocol, and I'm sticking with my mate Smudge at Cray Wanderers. Their season has got to turn around at some point. They've had a really slow start, really poor start. But they are in their fantastic new stadium, and any of you
beautiful stadium,
Hastings fans, if you're listening, any of you, I think Horsham have already been up there, but any of you else get a chance to go up. Whitehawk, I know haven't been there yet. I think Lewis may have. Bognor definitely haven't. Go up, take a look. Honestly, it is absolutely fantastic. And when I went in August, when they opened up with the Cray Derby against Cray Valley, there was still lots of areas for them to improve on. But they're still open. And even some of the smaller things, if they get those done just before the start of the season, head up there. The food's good. They've got beer on tap outside. They've even got a mobile beer station as well. They've got a club shop. Lovely bar and function room upstairs. It really is superb. So if you get a chance, even if it's not watching one of the Sussex sides, pop up there just off the A20 on the Sidcup bypass. It'd be worth a visit. So Margate Horsham, the last one, Mike. Margate.
I'm going Dom. I'm going Horsham. Absolutely. You know, they play some exciting football down there. They really do. I don't know as much about Margate, but from what I've seen, what Dom's creating down there, and with the team he's doing, and also the community, there's a lot of people around where I have that they go and travel up there. You know, they offer a great match day experience. So at Horsham, they really do. Lovely pitch and everything like that. But look, I'm going Horsham. I'm going to go with I'm going 2-0 away win.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with the draw on that one. I think Ben Greenlow. I've been draw, but I'll take Horsham to win the replay back at the the Fusion Aviation Stadium. I think it is now. It's not Camping World anymore.
No, it used to be Camping World, but look, to me, it's Horsham FC.
God, you got a couple of sponsors, like we did with your instant.
Listen. I'll plug the sponsors when they sponsor me. Until then, it's the Horsham FC Stadium for me. That's just the way I roll.
Right, moving on to the Isthmian South East Division, and at the weekend we had some sides in FA Trophy action. Herne Bay beat Three Bridges 3-0. Littlehampton and Burgess Hill drew 0-0. Littlehampton progressed 5-4 on penalties, and the Battle of the Heaths unfortunately finished 6-1 to Blackwell Heath. So three sides out and one through. Then divisional results last week. Lancing beat Phoenix Sports 2-0 and Stenning lost at Sheffield United by the same score. Tuesday night, Eastbourne Town and Three Bridges drew 2-2. Lancing lost 3-1 at home to AFC Croydon Athletic, which is Croydon Athletic's first win of the season. We're going to take a little look at Burgess Hill, Mike. They're the highest placed of our Sussex sides at the moment. But it's very Kent driven at the top, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we discussed this in one of the previous episodes, didn't we? You know, when you jump into this league, you're going to come up against teams like, as we said, down that Kent area. There's 4, 5, 6 good teams, big teams in that surrounding area. There's a lot of travelling. There's a lot more extra expense. There's a lot more demand on the average player that's there that's going to make that step up. I have no doubt that the teams that we've got, especially in the southern area, have the quality to stick around, maintain, build on, and progress in those things. Not a problem at all. It's just it might take them a little bit longer with some of those guys, especially from around the Kent way. That's just my opinion. But they're doing, where we are with the division, Burgess Hill. They're doing great. We've got to remember though, we're only 4, 5, 6 games into this league.
Yeah, I was just going to say to that. If you look at their table, it's so lopsided compared to a lot of the others that step forward. Yeah,
I mean, this we can say they're going to finish in the top 6, top 8, top that there, but let's start judging them when they've had 8, 9, 10 games. Yeah, when the meat and the potatoes start splitting up a bit. All right, because look, Burgess Hill surely be happy with that. 4 games in, sitting 6th. I would take that. Lancing picks up their first win as well under Jamie, and that he needed that. We certainly needed that in there. Littlehampton, just saying that, Littlehampton drew 0-0 with Burgess Hill. Only 4 days ago. So, it's a long way to go, Trev.
Absolutely, it is. And fixtures for this weekend involving our sides on Saturday. Broadbridge Heath host Lancing. East Grinstead Town go to Burgess Hill. Eastbourne Town also on the travels on the long trip down to Deal. Littlehampton are away at Mersham. Stenning host Hythe Town, and Three Bridges host Croydon Athletic, which, if I am correct, it is being played at Lancing this weekend due to Chatham Town having a home fixture in the FA Cup. So a little less travelling for Three Bridges fans this weekend, Mike.
Well, yeah, I mean, as we said previously, it's going to be tough as long as they keep the fans together. and that don't lose the casuals. I'm sure in the next couple of months, when hopefully everything is happening at their ground, goes forward and that. But yeah, look, just got to tough it out for a couple of months, stick together, and then hopefully they can get some results.
Absolutely. Right. Let's head into the Southern Combination, into the Premier Division. And
Yeah.
results last weekend were. Let's start with. Did we have any Wednesday night games last week? No, yes, we did. Yes, Bexhill and Hayward Heath played out a 0-0 draw in the Sussex RUR Cup second round, and Hayward Heath went through 5-3 on penalties. Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
FA Vars Day, and the results were Hawley Town 1, Hassocks 2, Camberley 3, Horsham YMCA 1, Meridian Valley Park 0, Hayward Heath 2, Molesey 1, Crawley Down Gatwick 1, Crawley Down Gatwick 1, 4-2 on penalties, Wick 5, Alfold 1, Faversham Strikeforce 3, Selsley 0, Billingshurst 2, Knapp Hill 0, as Paul alluded to earlier, Newhaven 2, Lyd 1, 4-2 on penalties, Balham 0, Arundel 3,
Yay!
Hawthorne 1, Sutton Athletic 4, Staplehurst Monarchs 0, Pagan 1, Saltdean 3, Shoreham 1, Little Common 0, Peacehaven 1, and Epsom Newell 3, Seaford 2. In the Premier Division, AFC Vardinians beat Lingfield 2-1, and Midhurst and Eastbourne beat Loxwood 3-0. And in the Premier Division on Tuesday evening, it finished Pagan 1, AFC Vardinians 2, Roffey 0, Hassocks 4, Crowborough 1, Little Common 0, Hayward Heath Town 3, Crawley Down Gatwick 1, Newhaven 0, Eastbourne 1, and Saltdean United 1, Peacehaven 5. It's 2 games this evening as we're recording. Bexhill are hosting Lingfield, and Shoreham are currently hosting Wick. Now, when I was having a look through that, Mike, it's very much an away day night for everyone last night. There were only 2 home wins out of the 6 games.
Wow. Okay.
So those on the road were fantastic. Really good travels by the looks of things.
Good for the away fans.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to look
I do make it clear at the moment though. I think the best 2 teams I've definitely seen are the 2 teams at the top in there. Hassocks, they're on a run. Hayward Heath, 8 games, they've let in 3 goals. What are they do? Are they playing that 2 goalkeeper formation or what? They exploiting that unknown rule from the medieval times where you can stick an extra man in.
I think it's string 9 across the back, Mike. 1 goalkeeper and then 1 up front, and then you just like the NFL when they kick off.
Yeah,
literally when he takes a goal kick, the 9 of them just run forward like it's a kickoff return.
I'd say it's parking the bus, but they're not because they're scoring 10 goals. They're playing great football. They're getting crowds. They're getting people behind them. They're doing great stuff there. But again, 2 unbeaten teams in the league: Hassocks, Hayward Heath, and it's they're scoring goals and they're conceding very, very few. Both of them, the goal difference: Hassocks 15 and Hayward Heath 16. Nowhere near any of the others. So look, yeah, they're doing well.
Absolutely. We're going to pick out a couple of sides just to have a look at. Peacehaven, Helston and Crawley Down Gatwick. Now, the reason I picked out the 2 of them, Peacehaven, as far as I'm aware, haven't played a home game in Peacehaven yet this season. So everything I think has been down in Eastbourne.
Did they not play? Oh, that was in the cup, wasn't it? They played in the cup, didn't they? Loxwood, I think. Peacehaven.
Yeah, it could have been.
But that, look, the last 4 games: away to Saltdean, away to Little Common, away to Forest Row, away to Midhurst and Eastbourne, away to Hassocks. Come on, they played some sides already.
Absolutely, and the reason I picked out Crawley Down Gatwick as well is the opening day of the season. They went down 5-0, I think it was, at Pagham, which was one of the most unexpected results on the opening day. But since then, they've clawed it back, and despite losing to Hayward Heath on Tuesday evening, they're sitting in the top 5, which I think is quite a turnaround from that opening day.
Look, there's a lot of teams. It depends how their pre-season goes. Also, the gaffers are getting in the players they want. Some are not available, injuries. We're still in the days where some might even be playing other sports that are crossing over and that. But you can't deny those boys are on fire at the moment.
Yeah, it's been some, it's some turnaround, especially when you think at this level as well, Mike, and you get it at Division One as well. You have these guys for 2 evenings a week, sometimes only one if there's a Tuesday
Yeah.
night game. And when sides start to put runs together and things like that, it's phenomenal. You look at some of the clubs last year, like Farnham in the combined counties, who went unbeaten all the way through the season and still haven't lost a league game at step four. And that to put those kind of runs together is is really something at this level. It's the sort of thing you expect to see National League level.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. What you're saying, some of them will only train once. Okay, how do you get that desire, that mentality, that togetherness of the group all together that makes you want to go again, go again, go again? It's a bit easier when you say you train, for example, twice a week. You can keep that continuity. But when you're only doing that, you've got to look at your group of players and say, well, actually, they want this. They want to keep going. And that's where you get the right characters mixed with the right kind of skill and system of a team. So, yeah, all credit to them.
Excellent. Right, fixtures this weekend. Crawley down Gatwick are at home to AFC Vardinians. Hayward Heath Town, Horsham YMCA. Wick go to Lingfield. Eastbourne United travel down the road to Little Common. Loxwood host Hassocks. Eastbourne are at home to Midhurst and Eastbourne. It's Pagham against Crowborough Athletic. Petersfield Town against Peacehaven and Telscombe. Saltdean United host Bexhill United. And Shoreham host Roffey. And there's one game on Monday evening, a rare Monday night.
Monday?
Yeah.
Monday night football?
Monday night football we have in Sussex. AFC Vardinians versus Loxwood. How about that? Monday night football, even down at these levels.
Wow.
Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Right, let me turn that up. So we obviously touched on the Southern Combination Division 1 when we had Paul on earlier in the show.
Yeah.
And we'll head down and have a look at the results for them last week, which were... We've been through the FA Vars results, so we won't go through those again. In division, apart from Infinity losing at Sturminster Newton at 5-0.
And they lost their manager.
I'm not sure if he's their manager or part of their committee, but yeah, I did see that come out today.
A member of their group who's been there years has stepped aside or stepped down. I think I only saw that last couple of days on X, But one thing I will say about Infinity, when we went down there on Bank Holiday Monday, they had a great vibe, great hosts, and that. So look, wish them all the best.
Yeah, it's good to see football back at Siddlesham as well. The Division 1 Challenge Cup first round, Forest Row won 1-0 at AFC Uckfield Town, whilst in Division 1, Dorking Wanderers B beat Montpellier Villa 3-0 and Storrington beat Godalming 3-1. There are also games last night on Tuesday. AFC Uckfield 1, East Preston 3, Arundel 0, Forest Row 6, Billingshurst 2, Dorking Wanderers B 3, Chesterton Hook 5, Alfold 0, Copthorne 1, Banstead 3, Oakwood 1, Seaford 7, and Worthing United 3, Selsey 0. There's one game being played this evening, which is Reigate Priory against Milo. Mike, obviously you were at the Arundel Forest Row game last night.
Hey, listen. Yeah, look. What you always get from me on here is real. Yeah, you win, lose. I'll talk about it. I've got something to say. Okay, Forest Row last night were a fantastically drilled team. Defensively, they're very solid. I had a lovely bit of banter with their centre half. I like that. If you ever see me on the sidelines, give me a bit of banter back. I'll take it and I'll give it back. It's all love. But they got some great players in there. They took their chances, scored a couple of goals, got a penalty, got one that I thought was a bit out of play. But look, there's no denying they totally outplayed Arundel. Absolutely deserved it. Score reflects how we work. I call it come down from a great weekend in the Vase. Okay, the boys look tired.
We're not American.
Vase, Vase.
Oh,
The boys look tired, and they've had a lot of football in there. But I'm taking nothing away from Forest Row. They look good. They finished their chances. We took our medicine. We move on. Go.
just on that bit, Mike, as well. Just as we mentioned, like about literally 5 minutes ago, about training once a week, twice a week. There's been a lot of Tuesday night games, hasn't there? Pretty much since probably halfway through August.
Yeah, look, we've been playing Saturday, Tuesday. Okay, and what also hasn't helped as well is also the last three Fridays have been developmental games. So instead of Wednesdays or Thursdays, they've been moved to Fridays. So again, that limits any crossover players or things like that. You mentioned about training. We struggled, Aaron. This is behind the scenes, and they know we struggled with a venue for the training. You know the problems we've had with the pitch, with the drainage and that. By the way, fantastic at the moment. But we don't train near enough as much as we could. That's obviously changed now. There's a thing in place, but there was a space of probably about 5-6 weeks where we didn't, where it was just match. It was Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Tuesday with the first team. Saturday, Tuesday. Yeah. Picked up a few injuries, suspensions, things like that. It happens. Get on with it, deal with it, move on. Yeah. Those were all things that we should have addressed pre-season. It didn't happen. Okay. We move on. It's done. You can't change it. Okay. But ideally, you have to be training there on maybe a Thursday or something like that in between that Tuesday. But I think that's our last Tuesday game. I think we've got one more Tuesday game to come up, and then it's back to Saturdays. There, okay. But hey, going back to the original thing, you can tell the teams are sharp. Not just physically, not just technically, but mentally as well. You know, there's a big thing. And that comes from working the phases of play with your coaches and all the tactics and that in the training. You know, rather than turning up, warming up, playing, go again. Okay, so yeah, look, but that was our choice. We didn't make the best choices of that, and we move on. It's done. We've changed it. Simple.
Brilliant. Nice little insight there. Right. Fixtures for this weekend. Alfold host Mile Oak. Arundel are at home against Storrington. AFC Uckfield Town travel all the way to Banstead. East Preston are at home to Billingshurst. Forest Row against Chesington and Hook. Infinity versus Godalming Town. Seaford Town versus Copthorne. Selsey versus Dorking Wanderers B. And Worthing United versus Oakwood. So once again, there's plenty of football to be watched in Sussex this weekend, Mike. And obviously in our capture match guide, you'll be able to find out who's where at a glance if you just wanted to pick a game from one of the divisions all the way down without having to go into the league tab and have a look through. So some good things.
I mean, yeah, that's a great thing to point out to the people that are listening here. I mean, that's a fantastic thing you've added to the site there, Trev. Catch a match. You know, whether you're the casual, whether you're looking to see how the other teams are getting on, where they're playing at. It's one page. They're all on there. You can choose. You don't have to keep flicking through different sites, different fixture lists. Trev's done it for you there. Get involved, get on the look, and you know, go and catch a game. Catch someone different if you don't. Catch someone that you may haven't seen. See what the vibe's like. What you know, what the hospitality's like, what the styles are like. So yeah, we encourage you. Yeah, or what the burgers like, you know. For me, it's probably what the pints like or what they serve behind the bar. But that's a different thing. But yeah, catch a match, get on there on the site. It's a great little sub feature there.
And just quickly, while we're on the subject of fixtures as well, there is a Southern Combination ground hop happening in October. As we get a bit closer to that, we'll give you a little bit more details. For those of you who don't know what happens there, you've got games over Friday evening, staggered on a Saturday, and staggered on a Sunday. So I think you can take in something like, I think it's 6 games in total over the weekend. It's not just confined to Sussex. It happens in Kent, happens up in the north, happens up in Scotland. Well, so once we
when is this, Trev?
I think just putting the October fixtures together, I think it's the penultimate or the last weekend of October. It's happening.
Well, then perhaps someone from the site should be there to maybe ground up a few of the games and see how it goes. Do you know what I mean?
Hopefully, I'm off that week, so I'll try and be at least one or two of the games. Anyway, it just depends where they are. I doubt I'm going to get away with doing all three games in one day, so it might be a bit of Friday night and maybe one on the Sunday. But again, as well, it's fitting everything else in around where where I need to be, what I need to write, and everything else. So it's busy times.
Good.
There we go. Right, that's it for your fixtures for this week. Our team of the week last week, sponsored by Singer's Roofing Specialist, is Southern Combination Premier Division side Crover Athletic, who rattled in 11 goals in 2 games, kept 2 clean sheets at the same time. You can't ask for much more than that, Mike, can you?
Look, the team I'm affiliated with went over to Crowborough last week. Yeah, and what a great side. Really, really organised. Lovely vibe around the club, and that their coaches, their managers, yeah, top guys. And I'll tell you what, ruthless defending again, and they are deadly in the attack. I'll tell you one thing though. Shout out to Crowborough for their burgers. Woo! They are deluxe, one of the best around. So yeah, congratulations to Crowborough.
Brilliant. Well, that's one of burgers. That's one of the places I need to get to. They're a little bit miffed when I did the polls earlier in the year that they didn't get chosen, but that went out for Twitter to choose, not me. So I will get that. It's funny enough, a ground I've driven around so many times over the years when I lived up in Kent and kind of delivered out towards that way as well, but I've never actually been to it. So
it's a lovely place. The pitch
yeah,
is decent
quite
as well.
very nice. Yeah,
You know?
very lovely.
They've got the old school dugouts as well. I like.
Have they?
You know, yeah, the ones that you really hide in on a cold night when the rain's peeing down and
Yeah.
that. So yeah, but I've got nothing but good things to say about that club. They knew when we were turning up there, we were taking our medicine, and they were really good about it as a club as a whole when we had to reverse the fixture. So yeah, shout out to Crowborough. Congratulations.
Brilliant. Right, the draw for the third qualifying round of the FA Trophy was made on Monday lunchtime, and the ties affecting our sides are Sittingbourne against Bognor Regis, Potters Bar against Whitehawk, Leatherhead against Hastings, Lewis against Bracknell Town, Leiston against Horsham, Littlehampton Town versus Barton Rovers, and Chichester City against Herne Bay. Ties to be played on Saturday, the 5th of October. Any stick out for you in that little few, Mike?
Look, I know I've got a soft spot for Littlehampton over there. They got some great players down there, pretty local in where I am, with Mitch and Gaskin down there. So I hope they have a really good season. I do. So, they're doing some good things with the ground. And they're, as we're recording it, it's absolutely sheeting it down outside. And I know that they don't hold the rain as bad as they could. But yeah, look, I hope Littlehampton one stands out for me, and they're about to turn it round.
Yeah, they're on their best run ever in the FA Trophy as well. Obviously, they've only been at this level for the last 2 to 3 years. So,
well, they set their own standards a couple of years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they did with the Vars final. Yeah, it's a lot harder to
look.
win the trophy. But the two that stuck out for me, Leiston against Horsham. That's a long old journey from Horsham to Suffolk.
How far's that? How far roughly?
Long.
Long.
I'd
that's Suffolk, yes.
off the top of my head, I'd say probably 2.5 hours.
Okay, well, Dom's got loads of time on the coach on that to get that going. Look, that's long, but that's an away day.
Yeah,
that's why some of these lads play. They play for these kind of days where you got that team building on the coach, or you got that train journey. Because I tell you what, no matter how far it is on the way back, if you've won, that's a day out. That's a night out.
I'll tell you something. That Horsham coach with Chris Dixon on it will be something else. Whether they win, lose, draw, well, they can't draw because it's settled on the day. But yeah, with Chris Dixon on it, that's going to be massive. And the other one that sticks out for me is Sittingbourne against Bognor. Obviously, Robbie Blake's boys have not had a great start to the season, and Ryan Maxwell's doing absolute bits at Sittingbourne. That won't be an easy tie for them. That's the potential banana skin, I think.
Who's at home?
Sittingbourne are.
That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So at the same time, the FA Vase draw was made, which I believe is for the first round proper. And
Sure is.
the ties for our sides are Camberley Town, who knocked out Horsham YMCA hosting Hassocks, Stansfeld against Peacehaven and Telscombe, Lingford against Billingshurst, Guildford City against Arundel, Burnham against Eastbourne United, former Vase finalists Tunbridge Wells host Pagham, Wick are against Harefield United, AFC Whiteleaf versus Saltdean United, the current Southern Counties East Premier Division leaders VCD host Roffey. Crawley Down actually get towards the Arch to play Wembley itself. And Faversham Strike Force host Hayward Heath Town. Ties to be played on Saturday, the 19th of October. Now, Mike, on the weekend, you went to Balham without for an away day. Talk us through it.
All right, so yeah, we played Balham. We took a full coach up there. We prepared right. We fancied it going up there. I'll be honest, we did fancy it. We've done the research. We've done the intelligence on the visuals and the tactics. There, we knew that they were a good ball playing team, but they don't score many goals. Okay, and actually, after speaking to their gaffers afterwards, he sort of agreed that was the way it is. They play at Tooting and Mitcham over there, so we turned up. Boys are focused. We had a fully strong squad out. You know, there's no magic about it. Prepared right, and yeah, come home with a 3-0 win, and we were valued for that. All right, they had one shot on target. That's it.
You allowed
in the whole one shot on target they had. Okay, so what our strikers, yeah, they were big, defensively very, very solid. But yeah, look, but as I said, those boys played the occasion. They didn't play the match. Yeah, they played from when they got to the grounds. There was banter thrown around. They knew that we had some fans on the thing. We had the committee, brothers, sisters, wives, and that. I personally took my kids. They loved it. And once we got the result, and believe me, Balham, great club in there, you know, really great hospitality. It was the coach journey back. We've got sing-songs going on. I think there's stuff on X of me doing Oasis stuff and things like that. But that's what they wanted to do. It is the buzz and the banter on the way back. And then we came back to the club, beers, there's the boxing going on. Josh obviously got banged out. But when you hit that high, and for us, we hadn't been that far for 10 years in that far in advance. Okay, so that was big for us. And that was a nice bit of money for us as well. The club needed that. You know, when you hit that high, you're setting yourself a standard. Yeah. Can you maintain that in the league on a cold Tuesday night at Arundel? Yeah. And that didn't happen. We fell short. It was like a hangover, a come down from that high. Yeah. But we loved it. The fans loved it. The players they all went out pissing it up for the night. All of them, you know, in the next day. But it was that's what they want to do. They're already eyeing up that next round, which is on the 19th. They're already eyeing that up and saying, okay, that's it. But the problem is we've got so many games in between that. You've got to bring them down a level to maintain that standard. Yeah. You can't just be that big game player. You know, I think it happened. We mentioned Littlehampton previously when they had their crazy, unbelievable vase run. You know, sometimes they would drop off in the other games in between. It's that getting up for it, getting up for it, getting up for it. So look, yeah, wonderful day. Great for the club, great for the fans. It was hot as well. I'd say it was a sweat out there. But I love a coach away day. I really do. I love the banter it brings. It brings the lads closer. It really does, especially if you don't train as much. It's that special time you need psychologically to get them together. And you'll find out characters. And you also find out the introverts, the extroverts in the team start coming out a bit more in there, So, but hey, take nothing away from us on the day. We prepared right. Okay. We performed at the best we've played this year by far. By far, that's a fact. And we took our chances and we didn't give them any chances. Therefore, we come away with the win. I'll be honest, I expected more from Balham. I did. They seemed to play with it a lot in their first third. And when they tried to transist the play, they just had to keep recycling going back in there. But, hey, it's the cup. We're through. We move on to the next one. That game's gone. Great memory, great day. Bang, see you later. Let's move on.
You got to do it again. Absolutely.
Hopefully.
So, Storrington at home for you Saturday, correct?
Yeah, look, I was speaking to the gaffer about this, and he's had links obviously to that club previously before. It's going to be a tough game. They're on a great run at the moment in there. So look, we're hopeful. We're hopeful doing that, but we need a win because we've had a few rocky ones. We've had a couple of defeats, and they haven't been the easiest defeats either. There have been some smashes. So yeah, look, we're looking for the boys to bounce back. They look a bit tired. I'll be honest. It looks like there's a lot of football being played in there. But, hey, this is what we do. You've got to have a squad that can play at this amount of games when you're in 4 or 5 cups as well, And these boys don't get paid what the Premier League boys do, and they're moaning about games. Do you know what I mean? So, hey, look, Storrington on a run. But, yeah, we're coming there. We're coming back, and we'll give it our best go and get back on track, Trev.
Brilliant. Well, I'm abandoning Sussex again this weekend. I've been rather National League centric this month, and I'm rounding it off with a trip to Barnet again on the weekend, having watched them at Aldershot on Tuesday evening. So I've already been, as I've been putting together the October fixtures, having a look at games. There's quite a few midweek ones still around. So depending on where Barnet find themselves next month. I know we've got a Tuesday night away in York, so I won't be doing that one. So that'll be a Tuesday night in Sussex.
Shout out to Hinchelwood up there doing good things.
Yeah, but they're still behind Barnet in the table, so we'll leave that one there. Bless him. I did actually watch York at the weekend. They weren't too bad. Looked all right. Not convinced they got the squad to last, but anyway.
Probably got the budget now.
Yeah, they've got the budget, but if you haven't got the squad, we've already got the squad that's in place. Don't need to bring any extras in. But nice to see actually Adam at the Amex on Sunday watching Jack score with a bullet header as well. So
yeah.
That was nice to see.
It's against Forest, right?
Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Mike, before we start wrapping up?
No. I just one thing I will say is we work on feedback out here. Yeah, we want people that listen to this to give us feedback, and we take whether it's good, bad, suggestive, anything like that. Get in touch with Trev or get in touch with me or at the site or on X or something. Maybe there's stuff you want to hear. Maybe you want to come on the show. Maybe you want to voice. Maybe you're not happy with me. I can be a controversial guy. I'm more than happy to have people that don't like me on that come on, and we'll have a proper debate. That I encourage that actually. So let's. But look, this is for the fans, by the fans. Yeah, it's a bit tongue in cheek at times. We've all got our own favourites, but we're doing it because the main reason is we want to get exposure to the clubs out there. We know how hard it is financially behind the scenes at grassroots and non-league football status. So come in, get involved, get your chats out, and let us know. Give us feedback, good or bad. We want to hear it.
Absolutely. We'd much rather have the feedback than not, because that way we can improve. We can put on the pod exactly what you want, and you can have more of what you want to hear about and less of what you don't want to hear about. Simple as that. It's how we roll, isn't it, Mike? So,
Sure is.
as always, the site www.thesnlf.co.uk. You find everything you want there. If you've got any ideas of anything else you'd like to see on the site as well, it's not impossible for us not to include it. We've obviously added extra bits along the way with the Sussex Senior Cup, which we plan to do a little bit more to the page there. So we'll have a list of past winners as far back as we can go. We've added the catch and match, which was someone else's suggestion, Martin Denyer, who's a photographer in West Sussex, goes around, does a lot of games, does a lot of cricket across the world as well.
Yeah.
Anything we can do to make your life a bit easier, to find things, to know things, any information you want that you think will help other people as well, just let us know. Drop us a line in lots of various places. I'm TrevK37 on Twitter, and Mike is
Mike McCaffrey, UK.
You can contact us by email, Trevor at the snlf.co.uk. We're obviously on X at the SNLF, and on Instagram and Facebook, the snlf.co.uk. So that's it for episode 2. We're on our new platform of Acast from this week. The other 2 episodes will also be uploaded to there as well. So we'll have a nice little archive in one place. And hopefully by the time when we get to next week and episode 3, Mr. McCaffrey would have sorted out my jingles for me, and we'll have a nice little play at the front and a play at the end.
No, I'm enjoying this, Trev, doing this with you. I know the hard work you put in behind the scenes, not just with this, not just with the site, but your own writing too. So, your own blogs you do all over. It's good to have you involved, and we have only just started. So, yes, we've got some new, let's say, editing coming into the pod there, and things will be happening. We're in this for the long term. This is not short term, and that we're in this for the long haul. We've committed, and yeah, love us or hate us, we're still going to be around. So if you want to come on, have a little chat, give your view, step up to the plate. For if not, hold your peace.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for listening. Share it around. Anyone you know that loves Sussex football, get them involved. If it's following
Yeah.
up on Twitter, whether it's sharing the pod around, whatever, you guys are our best marketing tool, better than what we can ever produce as a piece of writing, drawing, however you name it. It's your word of mouth that's going to get us noticed. So thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you again next week for episode 3.